Alright, this is gonna be part 8 of my Suikoden II game. Looks like we're trying to save somebody, I think. Kinda got a little lost here. Yeah, we're going to the Green Hill city to rescue the mayor. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, to anyone watching the last episode, I do apologize that there were so many glitches. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I had to like cut my stream and stitch my video together because it was being a little crazy. What the hell am I doing? I think I need to get in my boat. Oh boy, it's been an interesting week. Let's see, meow. Man, my castle's getting so large it's like confusing. I don't like remember where to go half the time. There we go. So at this part in the game, the Green Hill town, I guess, is like a big college town, and it forces you to use party members that are student age, so I'm kind of using a bunch of people I'm not normally used to using. Holy moly. There hasn't been like a rune store in a while. It's been kind of frustrating because, especially now that I have all these new characters. I think there's one up here, but they don't like really sell any good stuff. Like, it's annoying that I don't have whoever the rune person is recruited to my castle either. Because a lot of tunes have runes equipped that I'd like to unequip to save money, but unfortunately, I have not seen such things occur as of yet. Choco and Luke. Spark is all members attack after this wielder. So I guess that's a weapon-only rune. Let's see. I don't know. Might as well see what it does. I wonder if there's a... No, I don't think there's a blacksmith in this town. I don't know how useful that poison rune would actually be, but if... Like most RPGs, like you can't put negative statuses on bosses. They're just magically immune to everything. So, and on a normal enemy, that's gonna help us at about 0. Because, I mean, I just spam kill everybody with spells and stuff. There's no point in, like, wasting all that time. Alright, so we are making some good progress. Yeah, in my last video I was, like, running back and forth for a while, too, so I cut all that out because I didn't realize, like, how crazy it was going to be to recruit the second squirrel. Like, after screwing around with it for like 20 minutes, I just gave up and I overclocked my computer while I was offline in order to make that happen quickly. It was crazy, like, it took an additional 20 minutes to recruit the tune, but I mean, I was doing it on like 4x overclock, so 2 hours went by in that period of time. Anyways, Fitcher says, Lord Bunny, I finished just in time. Lord Flick, these are enrollment papers for the academy. They're 3 years out of date, so please tell the guards you were delayed by the war. Flick says, sure. Hey, Fitcher, you seem to be good with words. Couldn't you help us out a little? Fitcher says, I'm afraid I can't. There are many in Greenhill that know my face. Flick says, I guess I have to go through with it, but what do we do once we're in? Fitcher says, I'm working on finding out where Teresa is. When I know something, I'll get word to you somehow. But until then, just hang on. Flick says, right, got it. Okay, leader, let's go. Fitcher says, wait a second, Flick. If you use the word leader, we'll be found out right away. Look, there's a place for names on these papers. Come up with some fake names and fill them in. I'll leave that up to you. Flick says, what should we do, Bunny? You come up with the names. I'm no good at this. I don't know. We'll just call him Star. Nanami says, then I'll be Beth. Whatever. Nanami says, I would have liked Beth better. Flick says, that's everyone, let's go. Nanami says, Flick, you need a name too. Let's call him Blue Thunder. Nanami says, that's great, let's go with that. Flick says, I'm fine as is, let's go. Alright. Under orders from the commander, those that have no business in Greenhill may not pass. Flick says, we do have business here. What? You're here to enroll in the academy? Flick says, yeah, we got our papers a couple years ago. There was the war, you see. So we got delayed. We came all the way from Kanakan. The guy says, uh-huh. And you are? You don't look like a teacher. These kids, they can't be your children. Flick says, are you kidding? I'm working for their parents. I'm these kids' bodyguard. He says, your papers seem to be in order. You may pass. You better not cause any trouble. Ugh, need to shave. Flick says, what are we gonna do until we get our instructions? Let's get you enrolled. And don't get distracted. Nanami says, who's gonna get distracted? We're not those kind of kids, are we, Bunny? Flick says, okay, let's go. So let's just screw around in the town, see if there's any facilities that might be interesting, such as a blacksmith. I haven't seen one in a while. I don't have one at my castle either. It's like, ugh, I wish those were like some of the first tunes you could recruit. But I know at the blacksmith, like, you have to find all these hammers and stuff too, which makes it a little tedious. Item shop. I don't need no stinking items. Let's see. Toe shoes, huh? Might as well take that, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty. Just a bunch of normal houses. Anyways, looks like some NPCs stomped on a guard's foot, one of the Empire guards, and he says, hey, what's that about, stomping on my foot like that? This person's name is Nina, and she says, that's what you get when you stare at a lady with those perverted eyes. The guard says, pipe down, little girl, or I won't be responsible for what I do, even if you are just a kid. Nina says, huh? What's that, big man? You want a piece of me, huh? The guard says, well... Flick says, what's going on over there? Guess we're gonna go save her. Flick says, this looks bad. Nanami says, that's right, my brother always leaps at the chance to save damsels in distress. Let's go. Flick says, yeah, but hey, wait. The guard says, and who the hell are you? Nanami says, grown men that harass little girls can't be forgiven. Harass? Are you kidding me? She started it, says the guard. Nanami says, whatever, let's teach him a lesson. The guard says, listen to me, now I'm mad. You're gonna fight me? What's your name? Flick says, stop, pick on someone your own size. Are you trying to make a fool of a Highland soldier? Prepare yourself, he says. Flick says, prepare myself? You're the one who needs to be prepared. Are you really ready to lose your head over this? The guard says, fine. I got a little hot-headed. I'll forgive you just this once. And he takes off. Flick says, smart move. Alright, let's go. Nina goes, eh? Alrighty. Yeah, there's just not much in this town. Like, it's nice that they put in all these, like, houses and stuff. They look cool, but they don't have any practical purpose. Like, I think RPG logic is kind of like, obviously towns are big, but, you know, the houses should have a use, like, be stores and whatnot. I think it's kind of implied that only the things that are relevant to your quest should appear. But this game doesn't do that. Let's see. Alrighty. I don't know, I'm guessing this is the academy. Amelia says, hello children, what a strange time to enroll. Let me see. Flick says, you say you were delayed by the war? Amelia says, it seems your papers are in order. Welcome to New Leaf Academy, pride of Greenhill. Allow me to show you children around. By the way. Flick says, what? Amelia says, these children, are they yours? Flick says, come on, you can't be serious. I'm their escort. Amelia says, I see, of course. All students live in the dormitories at the west end of the campus. First 2 weeks of schooling and our orientation, during which your attendant may stay at the lodging house east of the dorms. Okay. Amelia continues, remember, students that prove to be problematic during orientation will be expelled, so be good. I just say, I understand. Wakaba says, yes, ma'am. Everybody just kind of agrees, and Amelia says, such fine replies. I think you children will do fine. Come with me. I'll show you around. Nanami says, I guess we are a little nervous. It's our first time at a school. Flick says, hurry up or we'll be left behind. Jean says, good afternoon. Hopefully she can be recruited to do our frickin' runes. I wonder if this guy will sharpen our weapons. Nope. Amelia says, down here we have the blacksmith, rune master, and appraisal classrooms. You'll find trainees in each. Be sure to talk with them. On the second floor are study halls. During orientation, you may go anywhere on campus. Decide what your major will be. Amelia says, do you understand? We just say, yes, ma'am. Amelia says, hello, Lord Shin. Shin says nothing. Amelia says, these are some new students and their escort. Shin says, I see, excuse me. Flick says, who is that? Amelia says, that was the acting mayor's attendant, but she's been missing since the assault. Teresa, that is. Flick says, missing, huh? Amelia says, it's getting fairly late, so be sure to go straight to the dorms after you walk around the school a bit. Well then, everyone, I must be going. I trust you will all become fine students at the academy. Flick says, alright, let's look around. We might be able to find some clues as to Teresa's whereabouts. Amelia says, is there something you don't understand? And we say, What about that guy named Shin? Amelia says, you want to know about Shin? Why? Whatever for? And I say we're searching for Teresa. Amelia says, oh my, are you sure you should be telling me this? I thought you were up to something. That person named Flick has been nosing around quite a bit. Amelia says, I see. Please find Lady Teresa. I know she's alive somewhere. Best of luck to you. I'll do whatever I can to help. I promise. Let's see here. There we go. I'm just rearranging some windows. Let's see. It said she was supposed to join the group, but she hasn't. Must be fine. I mean, she says she's our ally. It might be like that other situation where one of the tunes just magically appeared on the list, even though Genjin said he couldn't come with us. Let's see. Nina says, oh my gosh, he was so cool. It's as if he was fighting just for me. He was like my Prince Charming. I wish you could have been there. The other NPC says, are you sure you're not just imagining things? Nina says, of course not. Those eyes, that smile, the flower of chivalry is not dead. And she says, ah, it's destiny. It's like a dream. We meet again, but what are you doing here? Did you come to see me? Flick says, who are you? Nina says, forgive me, my name is Nina. I wonder if my lord could tell me his name. Flick says, hey, wait a second. Nina says, see, this is him. I told you he was handsome, didn't I? The NPC says, I guess. Nanami says, hey Flick, let's go. Nina says, my lord is called Flick? What a wonderful name. If I may be so bold as to ask, whatever is my lord doing here? You couldn't really be here to see me. Flick says, we're just here to see the school. Nina says, then please let me be your guide. I know this school like the back of my hand. Shall we be off then, Sir Flick? Oh boy. Nanami says, what is it? Wakaba says, good luck. Nanami says, what is it, Pilika? You look tired. Let's go to the dorms and rest. Okay. Perhaps this is the dorm? Perhaps not. The dorm person says, you must be the new students. Your rooms have been prepared. The boys' room is at the end of the hall on the second floor. The girls' room is right next to that. Don't mix them up. Nanami says, let's go check it out. The attendant says, listen up, children. Roughhousing in the dorms is not permitted. Also, you will find your rooms spick and span. Keep them that way. You may go to your rooms now. You'll be notified at supper time, so just rest until then. Nanami says, yes ma'am, okay, let's go, bunny. So much for those fake names, they basically stopped using them immediately. Nanami says, this looks like our room. Do you want to rest? I'm gonna say yes. Nanami says, we'll call you around supper time. Let's go, Pilika. We're in the next room. Nanami says, that was delicious. If this is what cafeteria food tastes like, I might just have to become a real student here. Nina says, it's you guys. I see you've become students here. Sir Flick said that he was your escort. Nanami says, you were, and trails off. Nanami says, what? Nina says, no problem. Your name was Nanami, right? Nanami says, yes. Nina says, I'm clearly much more beautiful than you. I don't have to worry about you stealing Sir Flick away from me, do I? Nina says, I'm sure we'll become good friends then, Nanami. Why are you looking at me like that? Nanami says, good morning. Get up. Come on, look alive. Nanami continues, it looks like Pilika caught your sleepyhead syndrome, bunny. Let's go. Okie dokie. Let me out. Flick says, yo, bunny, did you sleep well? Anyway, we don't have too much time. There's something going on with that Shin guy. I think he knows where Teresa is. I'm gonna go look for him. Why don't you guys go and see what you can find out? People might be a little more willing to part with information since you're kids. And don't be conspicuous, I mean. Also, the academy seems safe, but the town's crawling with Highland soldiers, so be careful. See ya. Nanami says, why is he in such a hurry? Oh, Nina. Ha! She says, this is weird. I swear I just saw him. Hey, Nanami, have you seen Flick? And she says, Flick went that way. Nina says, really? Are you sure you're not trying to lead me away from my beloved Flick? Whatever. This way, then. And after I made him this delicious box lunch. Nanami says, let's go look for Shin, okay? Okay. We approach Amelia and she says, good morning, children. Did you sleep well? By the way, will you be going into town? You must be careful. There's been an awful lot of Highland soldiers wandering about since this morning. The academy seems to be safe. It's been declared clear by the commander from Highland. Why a person that uses such brutal tactics would leave the academy alone is beyond me, but I'm grateful. She just says the same thing. Alright. When we walk past the inn, we see a bunch of Highland soldiers, and Nanami says, this doesn't look good. Let's see what's going on here. Please stop. We've done nothing. A guard says, shut your mouth. We received information that Teresa's holed up in this building. The inn owner says, that's a lie. Who would say such a thing? The guard says, our informant was a former soldier from Muse. To think that he'd sell out an ally for such pittance... You people are pathetic. Nanami says, Bunny, and I say, let's help them. Nanami says, wait, Bunny. Oh, dang, I thought that guy died. Rad says, are you gonna stand there in a daze all day? If you keep giving us trouble, maybe we should burn the place down. They say, no, please. Anyway, Shin comes up and says, Captain, what reason have you for such actions? Raud says, what reason? It's obvious. You're not telling me where Teresa is. You're bringing this on yourself. Shin says, when we surrendered, the Lord Commander from Highland promised no more violence. Raub says that's right. If he hadn't made such a promise, we'd be torturing each and every one of you until you talked. As you can see, the commander is really a very peaceful man. Shin says, damn. Raub says, alright, find out where they're hiding her quickly now, but you don't need to go so far as to set fires. We wouldn't want to make our Lord Commander angry now, would we? Shin says, forgive me, even though my apologies mean nothing. The in-person says, it's alright if Lady Teresa lives, that is. The other one says, what are you talking about? You're the reason we're in this mess, that cowardly mayor of yours. The guy says, stop, won't you? I'm sorry, please don't worry about it. Well then. Anyways, Shin scampers off and Nanami says, there he goes, we've got to follow him. Where has he hidden? Deep in the forest. Who knows? Nanami says, how strange. Where did he go? That battle everyone's talking about. I wonder what happened. Nanami says, what should we do, Bunny? Pilika's getting tired. Should we be getting back to the dorms? Okay. Guess it's nap time. Again. Huh. Nanami says, we didn't find any... We didn't find anything after all. Do you want to rest until supper? I say goodnight. Nanami says, see you in a little while, Bunny. Nanami says, the food was great today, wasn't it? I had plenty of seconds. I couldn't resist. Bunny, you should eat more. You're a growing boy. Nina says, good timing. Hey, Nanami, can I ask you something? Nanami says, what? Nina says, do you know what Sir Flick likes? I want to make him a really fantastic dinner, but I'm not sure what to do. Nanami says, I don't really know. Why don't you take some really bracing tincture or something, then just go for it like mad. Even if you make some mistakes, it's the thought that counts. Nina says, that's not a bad idea. Thanks, Nanami. Goodbye. Nina says, oh, Nanami, I forgot to tell you, don't make too much noise at night. If you start a pillow fight or something, you might wake up the wandering ghost. Nanami says, ghost? There's a ghost here? Nanami says, no way, there's no such thing as ghosts, right, Bunny? And I say, of course not. Nanami says, right, of course, there's no such thing. Come on, Pilika. You don't have to be scared. Big sis Nanami will let you sleep in her bed. Nanami says, good morning. Did you sleep okay? Luke says, what, you can't sleep because you're afraid of ghosts? Nanami says, what? Of course not. Chaco says, really? Nanami goes, ooh, in frustration, I guess. Let's see. When we walk outside, Luke says, where did he go? We don't know who he's referring to. Maybe Flick? Maybe that Shin guy? Not quite sure where to go. Nina says, ah. And I say, where's Flick? Nanami says, before that, there's something I have to ask you. Nina says, I need to talk to you too. Good timing. Why don't you go first? Nanami says, hey, Nina, is it true? Nina says, is what true? Nina says, oh, you don't mean the ghost. Nanami says, yeah. Nina laughs and says, you didn't really believe that, did you? Nanami says it's not true? Nina says, of course not. But a lot of kids have been seeing weird shadows and stuff at night lately. Nanami says, no way. Nina says, anyway, Nanami, how could you? I thought you were my friend. Nanami says, huh? Nina says, don't pretend you don't know. I was hanging around Sir Flick yesterday, and he has someone he loves, someone who's always with him. Nanami says, what do you mean? Nina says, I won't give up, Nanami. It's a duel. Nanami says, are you kidding? You've completely lost me. I say, is this a misunderstanding? Nanami says, you think so? You mean she may be jealous? Luke says, how long are you going to hang around here? We should be searching for Flick. Oh, kiddo guy. Let's see what else. Flick says, sorry about that. It took a long time to get here, avoiding Nina and all. And then he says, what is it? Nanami says, Nina's, and trails off. Flick says, how could this have happened? Don't worry though, Nanami. I'm not interested in children. Nanami says, thank goodness. Wait a second. Children? Flick says, alright, let's head for town. I got instructions yesterday. We're to wait for Fitcher. Okie dokie. Flick is back. Yeah, I only use Luke for magic anyway, so there's really no point in keeping him in the front row. When we get to town, some NPCs are accosting Fitcher and saying, you, traitor. Look at you slinking around all suspicious like. Fitcher says, no, I'm not a traitor. The NPC says, you are. I can tell from your Muse accent. You're with those bastards from Muse. Fitcher says, no, please stop. It has nothing to do with me. Nanami says, what should we do? Bunny says, you guys wait here and leave this to me. Flick says, what's going on? Did this guy do something? The NPC says, I've never seen you before. Get out of here, stranger. Flick says, I am a stranger, so I don't know the whole situation, but aren't Greenhill and Muse comrades in arms? The guy says, you don't know anything. If the bastards from Muse weren't here, this never would have happened to us. They stabbed us in the back, betrayed us. This idiot here's one of them. Oh boy. Getting like weird texts about coronavirus. Anyways, or coronavirus, I don't know or care. I'm not immunocompromised, so I don't think it'll be an issue for me. The NPC says they stabbed us in the back. They betrayed us. This idiot here's one of them. Fitcher says, thank the gods. I mean, kind traveler, please help me. Flick says, a traitor? He sold out his allies? He can't get away with this. The guy says, exactly. You understand, don't you? Fitcher says, why me? Flick says, I don't think his crimes are grave enough to warrant a lynching, but why not just hack his head off? Here, you can use my sword. The NPC says, what? Flick says, come on, don't hold back. You hate him, don't you? Am I wrong? The guy says, but... Flick says, what about you? He says, I'm fine. Flick says, have you no backbones? Looks like I have to do it myself. Wakaba says, I see, that's how it's done. I must be sure to study this. Chaco says, did you see them? They turned green and ran. Flick says, hey Fitcher, how long do you plan on staying like that? Fitcher says, please, save! Fitcher goes, huh? What? I'm alive? Flick says, I see, you found no trace of Teresa. Fitcher says, I'm sure she must be in hiding somewhere nearby. Flick says, oh well, Bunny, we'll just have to return to the academy and gather more information. Fitcher, you see what you can find out too. Just be careful. Fitcher says, I'm afraid I can't. I don't want anything like that little scene we just had to happen again. I almost forgot. The general that brought Greenhill down is coming back here in 2 or 3 days. This guy knows what time it is, if you know what I mean, so be careful. Nanami says, Whew, where should we be looking? Let's see. We run back into Nina, and she says, Nanami, you're horrible. Are you standing between me and Sir Flick again? Nanami says, eh? Flick says, I'll leave this to you, bunny. He runs away. Nina says, wait, Sir Flick. Why do you run from true love? You don't need to be so bashful. Nanami goes, Whew, are you tired? I'm tired. Shall we get back to our rooms? I guess so. Nanami says, what do you think today's supper will be? I can't wait. I say, should be fun. Nanami says, you agree, don't you, Pilika? Nanami says, I hate spinach. She continues, it's okay, I ate it all like a big girl. Spinach is actually really good. My roommate fries it in olive oil, and it's wonderful. It's like super filling because it's basically all fiber and fat. Anyways, Nina says, Nanami. You won during the day, but our duel is just beginning. Nanami says, duel? I say, why are you after Flick anyway? Nina says, what? What a foolish question. Why, you ask? What do the troubadours call it? Ah, yes, destiny. That day, that hour, I felt the hand of destiny upon my brow, and Sir Flick fought in my honor. I've heard the poets speak of it, but to feel it, just talking about it, makes me swoon. Nina says, what? Apparently everyone just walks away from her. Nanami says, good night. Luke says, let's hope the ghost doesn't show up. Nanami says, we'll be okay, right, Pilika? Chaco says, what is it? Nanami exclaims, bunny. Did you hear that creak? Nanami says, hey bunny, go and look. Make sure it's not a ghost. Okay. Doesn't look like a ghost to me. Nanami says, you're awful, bunny. Don't leave me here. I don't want to be left behind. Let's go together. Oh my. Nanami says, that's no ghost. Maybe it's a cat. Wakaba says, was that the ghost? It seemed like a person's shadow. Oh boy. Probably have to change my formation again. Nope. Looks okay. Just in case. I don't know if there's any fights coming up. Nanami says, I can't see anything. Nothing's there. But the shadow scampers away. The shadow has scampered again to the basement. Nanami says, I can't see anything. Nothing's there. The shadow has disappeared. Nanami says, now it's gone. What's happening? Let's go back, bunny. Come on, quick. Wakaba says, something's odd. Let's keep searching. Okie dokie. Ooh, secret door. Nanami says, what's this? Wakaba says, what's this mechanism? Nanami says, there it goes. All right, it's not a ghost. Ha! How dare you scare me? I will never forgive you. Nanami says, when you hear the signal, rush in and tackle it. Wakaba says, okay. Nanami says, go. Wakaba says, you can't escape Long Chan style martial arts, ghost. Chako says, who are you? The voice says, what the hell are you up to? Are you insane? It looks like the ghost was Flick. Nanami says, I get it. Flick's been wandering around night after night like a ghost, but why would you do that? Flick says, who's been acting like a ghost? I was tailing that guy Shin. There's something suspicious about him. He's a tricky one, though. The Highland Army's after him, too, so it's to be expected. Flick continues, I figured he's got to be doing whatever he does at night, so I've been watching and waiting, and I just spotted him. I tailed him all the way here until you showed up. Nanami says, and then we caught you. Wakaba says, it's just ahead. We must gather our chi and startle it with a powerful ki, whatever that means. Flick says, yeah, no doubt. Alrighty. Luke says it's a dead end. Nanami says, is it really a ghost? Flick says, of course not. There's got to be a mechanism somewhere. Let's search. Look at that, another hidden door. Nanami says, Bunny, you're so cool. Naturally, you're my little brother. Flick says, come on, let's go. And we are running through some woods, apparently. Oh, it is monster time, apparently. Flick says, what's that? It looks suspicious. It's a cabin. Nanami says, it's gotta be the ghost's haunted shack. Wakaba says, I don't think that's possible. Flick says, let's check it out. And there's Shin. Shin says, I knew we'd be discovered eventually. However, my lady requires a bit more time here. Flick says, hey, wait. Shin says, shut your mouth. I say, we're your allies. Shin says, I do not know who you are, so I don't consider you as such. I'm sorry, but I can't let you leave here alive. Flick says, you refuse to listen to us. Are you after a fight? You'll find us very different from those Highland soldiers. Shin says, with my blade tarantula in hand, I have nothing to fear from anyone. Flick says, if we're talking about reasons not to lose, we have them too, friend. Nanami says, no. And Pilika starts crying. Shin says, children, why? Teresa says, Shin, please stop. Shin says, my lady, but these people. Teresa says, there's been enough fighting. I beg you, Shin, please stop. Flick says, wait a minute, we haven't come to capture you. I'm Flick of the Penis Army. This is our leader, Bunny. Teresa says, the Penis Army. Teresa says, I shall take your word that you're truly from the Penis Army. Shin says, my lady. Teresa says, even if they are from Highland Army, we needn't do such roundabout things, Shin. Lord Bunny, why have you taken so much trouble to see me? We have come to save you. Teresa says, you came to save me, but why? Flick says, our army's military strength is still fairly slight. Even with the aid of Two River, we aren't in a position to wage war against Highland's main army. So, Lady Teresa, we need your strength. Teresa says, my strength? No, what you seek is Greenhill's strength. Teresa says, forgive me, I'm afraid I can't help you. I say, why is that? Teresa says, I abandoned my citizens and escaped here alone. I'm no longer the acting mayor of Greenhill, and I don't want anything like that battle to ever happen again. Teresa says, it became obvious that Highland was after Greenhill, and so the citizens were preparing to fight. Teresa says, in a flashback that is made out of sepia tone, Highland released the captured Muse soldiers, and they came to Greenhill. At first, everyone rejoiced, without knowing the true meaning of the soldiers' arrival. Teresa continues, Highland returned the weapons and armor they had confiscated from the Muse soldiers. There were skeptics, but most of the citizens assumed there must have been some Highland commander or other that wanted a fair fight. More than anything, the increase in military power due to the Muse soldiers was invaluable to the morale of the dejected citizens. Teresa says, before long, the Highland army appeared and the citizens prepared for battle. However, the Highland army began their siege but made no move to attack. Teresa continues, the addition of the Muse soldiers had nearly doubled our army, and the food supply was decreasing with alarming speed. Soon enough, the soldiers and the citizens were at odds over the dwindling provisions. The Greenhill citizens thought this is food for Greenhill, but the Muse soldiers considered it food for fighting. Teresa says, and so the Muse soldiers rebelled, taking the food storehouses by force and throwing the city into chaos. It seems obvious now that Highland must have given the Muse soldiers back their weapons for just this purpose. Teresa says, and then we, right in front of the Highland army, we were defeated without even having fought. And that's what happened, comrades in arms, killing each other over mere food. All that remained in us was distrust for each other. And I, as acting mayor of Greenhill, could not prevent this. Teresa says, forgive me, Lord Bunny, I can't help you. Please return home. Shin says, excuse me, but you should leave Greenhill as soon as possible. I'm not saying I distrust you, but if the Highland army discovers Lady Teresa, I will hunt you down. Flick says, don't threaten us. You're called Shin, right? What do you plan to do? You can't hide here forever. Shin says, we need a bit more time. Lady Teresa wishes it. Nanami says, gosh, we came all this way and found Teresa for nothing. Flick says, looks like this was pointless. Bunny will leave Greenhill tomorrow. Wakaba says, school, it's not such a bad thing. Chaco says, too bad, it was fun. Nanami says, morning, Bunny. So today we say goodbye to the school. It was fun, kind of, and the food was delicious. Okay. Flick says, did you forget anything? We won't be able to come back here anytime soon, you know. Let me check one thing. Because I think I missed an item or something. I have to go back through the building, I guess. See if I can find it really quick. Or if the thing will even open. Whoosh. Whoosh. Yeah, it won't open again. Whatever. I say we're ready. Luke says, that girl, you're gonna leave without saying anything? Flick says, don't be ridiculous. Now that you mention, I haven't seen her since this morning. It has nothing to do with me. Come on, let's go. Oh boy. Must there really be any reason why I should have to keep adding people and moving them around? As we prepare to exit the town, we see a crowd gathering. Flick says, what's going on? Raud says, listen up, this is an announcement from the Prince of Highland, Luca Blight. 20,000 potch and the right of Highland citizenship will be awarded to whoever captures Teresa, the former acting mayor. The NPCs say, liar. That's right, how can we trust a nation that's already broken promises? Yeah. Flick says, a cash reward and immunity. It's only a matter of time before someone comes forward. Nanami says, what is it, Pilika? No, that's a lie. Raud says, how dare you? If you don't trust us, then... And Jawi comes up and says, citizens of Greenhill, please listen to what I have to say. The parties responsible for yesterday's unlawful investigation are already being punished. Jawi says, this is a formal offer from Prince Luca Blight of Highland. I swear on my own life that our promises will be kept. The citizen says, is it really? And trails off. Jawi says, there is, however, one condition. Teresa must be delivered alive. No reward will be given for a corpse. 20k? Nanami says, what is Jawi doing here? And Pilika runs off towards him. Flick says, wait, damn it, you brat. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to go after him. Flick says, okay, let's go. Raud says, who's this little girl? And then he goes, huh? Bunny says, Jawi, why are you? Raud says, hey, get them. Fitcher says, hey, you people, capture them. Spies, they're spies, there'll be rewards. Which causes people to run around and allows us to get away. Raud says, quickly get them out of the way, damn it. Jawi says, Bunny, and trails off. Kulgan comes up and says, that's the leader of the Penis Army, isn't it? The one that defeated Kiba at Two River? Seed says, you're sure we shouldn't follow, Commander? Jawi says, Raud will take care of it, we'll leave it to him. Seed says, naturally. Kulgan says, Teresa, no matter what you say, we won't give her up. Jawi says, I suppose so. Anyways, a bunch of soldiers run after us and say, over there. And we have to fight them, apparently. Let us destroy them. Flick says, this is bad. There's bound to be tons of Highland soldiers at the gate. Chaco says, how about the secret path? Flick says, good thinking. We've got to get Teresa out of here, even if we have to use force, as if their promises can be believed. We run into the academy and someone says, over there. And we get into another fight. And some more soldiers apparently corner us. We found a scroll that's useless. Oh boy. Alright, so and we are approached by yet again more soldiers. Wakaba says, looks like the coast is clear. Flick says, the commander that knew what time it is Fitcher was talking about, it must have been Jowie. It's hard to believe that he's a commander in the Highland Army. Ugh. What is that stupid balloon thing? I don't know if I want to deal with that, since I don't have any way to cure it right this second. Anyways, we get back to Teresa's hideout. Nina says, come on, we've got to run. Nina says, Sir Flick, what are you doing here? Have you been following me? Flick says, how do you know this place? Shin says, Nina has been helping me. When I need supplies, she'd buy them. I fear I would have stood out too much. Nina says, Flick, what are you doing here? Flick says, we came to get you, Lady Teresa, and escape. The situation has changed. This time, if we must, we will use force. Teresa says, Nina already informed me of what's happening. Nanami says, then let's get out of here. If we stay, we'll be found out. Teresa says, I will not run. I will be the cause of no more suffering for my people. Once they have captured me, Highland's oppression of Greenhill will end. I have no other option. Nina says, but wait a minute. Teresa says, Bunny, excuse me, I'm sorry that I could not have been help to you. Flick says, do you really think I can let you do that? Sorry. Teresa says, if you interfere, I will take my own life. Flick says, damn. Shin says, my lady, I will accompany you. Teresa says, then please bear witness to the end of my life. Flick says, why do you hurry to death? Surely living is better. Nina says, I can't let you die, Lady Teresa. You fought so hard for us. We knew the food supplies were low, and yet, even after that, you didn't wish ill on the soldiers from Muse. I can't stand by and watch someone with such a kind heart die. Flick says, hey. Nanami says, we're not out of the game yet, Bunny. Let's go. Okie dokie. Oh boy, they're just gonna make me run back and forth right now, huh? Roud says, you've already given up, huh? It was good of you to make up your mind about it, and so polite too. And then he laughs. Roud says, all right, get them. Roud says, are you resisting? Shin says, I won't let you lay your filthy hands on Lady Teresa. Teresa says, Shin, what do you think you're doing? Stop. The House of Wisemail is no more. I'm no longer acting mayor. You have no reason to be doing this. Roud says, I don't know what's going on, but I don't care if they resist. Take them by force. Nanami says, let's go, Bunny. I say, we have to save her. Flick says, all right. Roud says, ha, you fools came back? Perfect. Take them. Teresa says, stop fighting. Flick says, don't be ridiculous. Teresa says, I beg you, I don't want to be responsible for any more trouble. Nina says, trouble to who? And all the citizens come. Raud says, what? Nina says, get out of my way. Teresa says, Nina? Nina says, you can't be captured. Teresa says, if I'm taken, everyone will be... Nina says, you think that'll make anyone happy, Lady Teresa? At least believe in us the same way we believed in you. Everyone, when we lost, when we led Greenhill to defeat with our own hands, that battle wounded us inside. Knowing that, will you still hand yourself to the Highland Army? Will you really cause the citizens of Greenhill more pain? You may lose battles, you may even lose your town, but there's something more important than that you cannot lose. Please, do not lose that, Lady Teresa. The NPC says, everyone protect Lady Teresa. Protect our mayor. Teresa says, everybody. An NPC says, the people of Greenhill took us in. Let's return the favor. Let's not pollute the name of Muse any further. Raud says, damn you. And the Highland soldiers take off. An NPC says, Lady Teresa, you're the one and only mayor of Greenhill. Get yourself to safety. And someday, please come back to retake your city. Teresa says, thank you, I'm not worthy. An NPC says, what are you talking about? You know we believe in you. Never forget that. Teresa says, I understand and I promise I'll return to Greenhill. I'll once again walk these streets and breathe this air. My lips will once again call the town's name. Wait for me, I will return. Of course, says an NPC. Yeah, come back and chase these guys out of here. Flick says, it looks like the main force is coming. Let's run. And the villagers say, okay, let's create a diversion. Teresa says, citizens, I promise I'll return. Nina stays behind. Flick says, they're probably creating a diversion, but it won't last long. Let's hurry. Shin says, I'll go ahead and clear the way. And Teresa joins our convoy. And we're attacked by soldiers. Oh boy. Teresa says, Shin. Shin says, Godspeed, my lady. Raud says, are you in that much of a hurry? He says, they were able to slow us down without any weapons. I'm surprised. Anyway, this is as far as you go. You can't escape. Nanami says, you're awful. Raud says, who are you kidding? Do you know how much trouble you've caused me? This time I'm sending you to the execution grounds. Teresa screams, Shin. Shin says, don't worry, they won't pass me, my lady. Teresa says, I will not allow this. If you die, and then she trails off. Shin says, my loyalty lies not with the office of mayor, not with the house of Wisemail, but with you, Lady Teresa. Teresa says, what are you saying? Flick knocks her out and says, leave this to me. By the name of my blade, I'll protect her. Shin says, thank you. Let's go, Bunny, says Flick. Raud says, they're getting away. Follow them. Shin says, I cannot allow you to do that. With my blade tarantula and with the skills engraved upon my soul, I'll defeat you. We picked up some toe shoes. And a silver hat. Nothing over there, huh? There's something over there. Some free stuff. We got the Chimera rune. There we go. Nanami says, looks like we made it. Flick says, for now, but we can't let our guard down until we get back to our castle. These lands are still controlled by Highland. Pilika runs off, and Jowy's there. Nanami says, Jowy? Jowy says, Bunny, Nanami. Bunny says, Jowy, why? Jowy says, Bunny, I give you this advice as a friend. Relinquish leadership of your army and run away. Wakaba says, what does that mean? Jowy says, the victor in this war is already decided. Anything you do now is in vain. You'll only be prolonging suffering. Chako says, what? You mean you're following Luca's orders? Jowy says, I will not allow Luca to have his way with Highland and the city-state. Nanami says, then... Jowy says, you have no reason to fight, Bunny. I say I can't just run away. Pilika starts to say the word Jowy and starts crying. Jowy says, Bunny, you better start running. Flick says, pursuers, let's go. Nanami says, Jowy, what is this? This has to be a lie. I don't believe it. My Jowy, our Jowy, he'd never follow orders from Luca Blight. I say, let's go, Nanami. She says, no, I hate this. We're all finally here with Jowy. Jowy says, farewell. Flick says, it looks like we made it. We can't rest easy yet. Let's hurry to Carrot Castle. Teresa says, someday. Raud says, well, well, if it isn't the commander. By the way, a few rats must have come running this way. Did you see them? Jowie says, I haven't seen anything. Raud says, oh, I see. Even after one of my men swore he saw them come this way? You may be a commander, but you're still a newcomer. His Majesty Luca asked me to keep an eye on you. What do you think he'd say if I gave him this piece of information? Raud says, step aside, would you? Colgan says, wait, Raud. Seed says, we were here too, and nobody suspicious came through. Raud says, what are you saying? Colgan says, we'd hate to see you make a false report out of jealousy, because a former subordinate is now your commanding officer. Seed says, that's right, we're witnesses. Raud says, damn. Colgan says, you know, there's still quite a riot going on in Green Hill. Shouldn't you get yourself down there? Raud says, damn it, alright, let's go. Jowie says, why? Seed says, we love Highland, it's a wonderful country. Colgan says, we can't stand idly by and let it be destroyed. The only thing Luca Blight will bring about is ruin, and that's not our intention. Seed says, it wouldn't be pleasant to be left standing on scorched earth after the war's over, would it? Colgan says, Jowie, commander of the 4th Army of Highland, we pledge our loyalty to you. We know what your goal is. Use us to that end. Jowie says, Colgan, Seed, your brave decision will not be in vain. Thank you. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're on our way back to Two Rivers City. Which, believe it or not, is over there by those 2 rivers. Oh boy. Alrighty, so I am gonna cut the stream here. I need to do a little bit of annoying adulting, and then I'll be back hopefully like within a half an hour. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.